Wait, so I just wanted some clarification. Let me ask you. So you keep doing the exact same thing all over again, year after year, and you expect to get different result. You're in the same type of environment, surrounded by the same people. You are not satisfied with it. And you're asking yourself, how come life has been so stagnant for me? Well, maybe how about this is your own freaking responsibility? Because it is. Because nobody's coming to save you at this point. You should know that. You're an adult. We didn't know that when we were kids. We understand that now. Marvel is just for fun. Batman's not coming. Your mom's not coming. Your ancestors could help. Not gonna help with everything. You cannot keep doing the exact same things all over again, expecting different results, because there's not gonna be a different result. It is always gonna be the same thing all over again. And you're gonna find yourself in situations that hurt, that are very uncomfortable, but then that's the only thing that you kind of know. So you keep repeating the same mistakes. Why? Why wouldn't you take the risk to do something else? You know, the least favorite people that I have in life are the comfort people, people who are really comfort seekers to a point where they do not let themselves live, where they do not let themselves enjoy life, take the necessary risks, because success is all about risks. And no amount of comfort will ever replace success. Success requires a lot of sacrifice, and it's going to be sacrifice in different forms for different people. What things are you ready to sacrifice today in your life for a better future tomorrow? Is it going to be about self-discipline? Is it going to be about cutting people from your life to make your life better? Hi everybody, I am Violetta, and I love to talk, to teach, and to preach, I suppose. But, you know, can you blame me? I'm just here to share my experience, because I really wish when I was a little younger in my life, I had some sort of, you know, guide to take me through some situations, because that would have been really helpful. So hopefully if you watch something of mine, you are going to become a smarter person today. I'm not saying like you're not going to make the same mistakes, because I hate when older people say like, I wanted to learn from my mistakes. You are not supposed to learn from somebody else's mistakes. You can only learn from your own mistakes. You cannot learn from theory. You can only learn from practice, at least in life. So no, you're still going to make your own mistakes. What I want you to do is to maybe take some time to reflect about the consequences, the aftermath, or if the shit already did happen, first of all, I'm sorry, come back to my video and like find ways to cope with it in a healthier way, possibly. As I was saying, if you find yourself in the exact same situations every single time and you're incredibly unhappy with it, well, I have good news and bad news. Good news, you are responsible for it. Bad news, you are responsible for it. Nobody did that to you. Life is hard, and there's going to be things in life that you really cannot control, that it's about circumstances and luck, and it is going to be different for different people. This is why we keep saying that life is incredibly unfair. It is. What you're going to do about it? You're going to fight God. You're going to fight universe. You're going to fight something. You're going to fight fate. What? Well, you go ahead and do that. If I were you, I would go to the acceptance stage faster, because it's going to get you further in life. Once you accept the fact that this is how things are, you become responsible for your own life, for your feelings, for your actions, for your words, for whatever it is you want to do. And then nobody comes to save you is such a great thing, actually, if you think about it, because the day you realize that everything is in between your hands, you become so much more powerful. Like the way you see yourself, you just feel yourself as somebody bigger and better, and this is such a satisfying freaking feeling. I'm gonna give you real life examples of how I made my life better by sacrificing some things and just switching up my routines. A couple of years ago, I used to work in music industry, electronic music, techno. We were organizing all kinds of events, and for very obvious reasons, it is a very unhealthy industry, right? You work at night, you work on the weekends, you work day and night as a freaking horse. It is very hard, and there's a lot of substance abuse. Who says substance abuse says power abuse in all types of forms. So it is a very, very, very problematic industry. I do not say that this is the only problematic industry, but you know, once you work at night, I feel like there's automatically a lot of danger attached to it. So I would hang out with a lot with the people from the industry, because my naive, stupid ass back in the days, not today. Today I'm a wise woman. Assumed that they had good intentions. Turns out they didn't. Turns out they were using me for what I could offer them, for the power that I had, even though I did not consider that I had that much. But for them fucking rats, that was more than enough. Pardon my French. And for the very long time, I could not understand how come I couldn't progress in life, how come life couldn't take me further, because I was trying and trying and trying, and every time I would hit the fucking wall, a brick wall, and I could feel the impact, and I could still not understand what was going on. And the moment I started to remove these people from my life, that was also very hard, because like, imagine, I'm talking about like at least 40 of the 50 people who are constantly around me, messaging me, commenting me, asking me out, to all of a sudden not having none of them people no more in my life. First of all, by removing these people, I realized none of them were true friends of mine, because none of them messaged me, none of them asked me how I was doing, none of them were interested in my well-being. They just wanted something from me, or they simply wanted my company, because misery loves company. And most of these people were incredibly miserable. Most of these people were drug addicts. They didn't do much with their life. They were lost souls. And I'm not judging here today, not for a spare second. That's a fact. That's who a lot of these people were. And I was not the type of person. Yes, there were times where I was a little bit confused in life. I was still looking for myself, but not to the extent of just truly wanting to destroy myself. So I quickly realized that, and I removed these people from my life. And I could tell you that I finally knew and relearned how to breathe. I felt so good. Like, I felt like all of the energy that I gave to these people, I was slowly but surely claiming it back. And it felt so incredibly good. And it felt so amazing. I felt more energized. I felt more myself. I felt more authentic. And I simply had enough time for myself too, because I didn't have nobody around me constantly asking me for favors. I'm also thinking about another example. I had a friend who had a horrible victim syndrome 100% of the time, all the time. And those are also the type of people that I advise you to remove from your life immediately. It's going to be such a waste of time. And I should say that this friend had a very complicated and difficult life for a very long time. However, however hard your life and unfair life was to you at a certain point of your life, what you do with it later on, the outcome is how you deal it, is your own responsibility. I've seen numerous people who went through really horrible and really hard situations, and there's nothing they could have done with it because it was out of their control. They were able to rebuild themselves in such a better manner. And I'm thinking right now, my mom has a friend who was convicted for 5 years in jail wrongfully, because he had like some kind of company. His partners did some illegal stuff without telling me, and then they just blamed him for everything. He went to jail for 5 years, 5 years of his life. And I remember, it was a long time ago, I was still a kid. I remember thinking to myself like, oh my God, this is the end of his life. I saw this man a couple of months ago. He's still married to the same woman who was, luckily for him, waiting for him. They got two new kids, that sounds a little bit different, but they got 2 additional kids, which also sounds different, but you got me. They are traveling the world. He found a new job. They are incredibly happy. They just built a house for the whole family, for all of the kids and the future grandkids. They are so happy, and that made me really happy for them. So back to the everybody who has the victim mentality. I don't care how hard life was on you. I literally don't care. I'm not gonna waste a second of my life if I hear you complain about, oh my goodness, I cannot do anything. And you know what? Sometimes complaining is fine. It happens to me almost every single day to just sit down and complain, but it's my way to cope with my emotions, because I have a lot of frustration built or something. So I sit down, I open the complaint bureau to myself, I complain for 10 minutes. Once I'm done, I get up and I start doing things. Complaining on itself is not bad for as long as you still keep doing things for yourself, but obviously in this case of my friend, he was not doing shit for himself. He was honestly constantly complaining, and he was also constantly putting himself in very dangerous situations all over again, very traumatizing, very doubtful, very dangerous situations. And then once things would blow out, well, he would come back to me and complain again. You are not a victim if you consciously or even unconsciously keep putting yourself in those situations. And what I get really angry with is that this friend had the means to go to therapy, had the means to restart, had the means to change the friend circle, had the means to do whatever he wanted to do, but he was not using them because he was just so stuck to that system that was not even good for him, for his body, for his mental health. I don't want people like that in my life no more. What do you expect to happen? You expect life to bring you luck and abundance and wealth and beauty and money and whatever it is you want, but you're not even ready to commit to a healthier routine in your life, I don't think that's how things are working, sweetheart. I don't think that's the thing. All of that just to say that your environment sculpts you in so many different ways. You know the saying that goes like, you are the reflection of 5 closest people to you. And when I look at 5 closest people to me, well, I am quite proud. They are really decent people and I love them and I appreciate them. If you look at the 5 closest people in your life and you go, this is not who I am, well, you're about to start doing something with that, because you cannot expect things to go in a good direction for you if you're not doing something proactively. Life is willing to help you. Life is more than willing to help you. God is more than willing to help you, if you prefer. The universe, whatever it is, the entity that you believe in. But for as long as you're doing something too, for as long as you start doing something, and then you send this kind of energy into the, I am into this thing, I want to build that thing, this is where I dedicate my energy to. And then yes, there's a potential for some luck and abundance, but you sit on your ass all day, every day, and you expect things to happen, and you're like, oh my God, somebody's gonna knock on my door, I'm gonna be the next Dua Lipa. Pathetic. This is completely pathetic. Like, okay, call me when you're the next Dua Lipa. Send me the tickets. I bet I'm not going. Guys, honestly, take care of your energy. Cherish it as much as you can. Do not give it away to wrong people. It is such an important thing, and I had to learn it in a very, very hard way. I kind of regret not listening to my guts a little bit earlier, but it is also the way it is. But honestly, do not do it. The people that I told you about were energy vampires for me. They were not supposed to be in my life, at least not for that long. And I feel like a part of me was just lonely. So I was like, okay, it's best to have somebody around than to be on my own. No, it is not. I am so comfortable in my own skin, by myself, home, doing my own routine, whatever it is. Learn to be by yourselves. And I do not care if I don't know how to be alone. I can't do that. Learn. You think I didn't have to learn that? You think things just somehow magically came to my life or to somebody else's life? You think it happened to the celebrity that you're admiring? They just stood up and they're like, I'm the most powerful person, I'm clever, I'm good at this and this and that, and I'm making a lot of money. No, people build themselves from scratches. Like Nara freaking Smith. They build themselves from scratches. Do that with your own life. And the thing is that there's no instruction, and that's actually a hard thing because I kind of like instruction sometimes. Well, the instruction that I am about to give you is, first of all, sit down and think what you're unhappy with in your life, what it is that makes you sad, unsatisfied, or whatever it is. Make a list, literally write things down. It could be people, it could be your job, it could be place you live in, it could be your apartment, it could be your health routine, your workout routine, your food, whatever it is, and start switching things up. Start going for healthy options in life. It is as simple as that. Start doing something new, find hobbies, try new things, build those connections in your brain. It needs it. Your brain is a beautiful muscle. You need to help it. You need to feed it. Hard decisions pretty much equals easy life. The hardest decisions that you're about to take in your life, to stick to something difficult, let's say to a course, an online course that is incredibly hard, but you're like, I'm actually going to go and learn that shit because I know that the reward is going to be big. Those are the hard decisions that actually going to benefit you in life. And you're gonna be so incredibly grateful for making those choices once, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it is. But make those hard decisions. Do not stay in comfort. Comfort is not getting you nowhere. It is fine to be in comfort when you're 80 years old. This is the time for comfort. This is the time if you just want to sit down and relax and enjoy and say like, biggest part of my life is behind me. Now I'm just about to rest. You are allowed to do so. You are not allowed to do so when you're 20, 25, 30, 35, etc., etc. What are you doing with your life? I'm gonna tell you, you're wasting it. Take care of your energy. Remember that this is yours, all of that. You are not supposed to give it to every single person in your life. You're supposed to keep it for yourself. And once you have enough, share it with those who are ready to reciprocate. Not everybody will, very unfortunately. Take your time to find the right people. Take your time to think about your life. Take your time to switch up things, change the routines, take the damn risks. That's how you succeed. And come back to me and tell me what are the good things that you did for yourself. Because I want you to succeed. And because you should want yourself to succeed. So, if you're not coming back here saying that you succeeded in something for yourself, just don't come back.